Gods of fate perceive the future and the choices that mortals make that drive them towards their destiny. Some deities consider the future to be preordained, while others look at the future as a multiverse of infinite possibilities. Clerics who draw power from the forces of fate sometimes receive visions from their deity, giving them fleeting omens about the future. They can then share this impossible knowledge with their allies and also prophesy about their enemies' impending doom. My name is Jake from JNJtabletop, and welcome to this quick overview and review of the Fate Domain Cleric, which can be found in the latest Unearthed Arcana Wonders of the Multiverse. One of my favorite characters to play has always kind of been the sort of aloof, someone whose head's a little bit in the clouds, has some kind of like deep understanding. If you kind of look at the hermit background, they have this like manifesto of understanding, enlightenment. And I think the Fate Domain Cleric very much could fit in with a hermit and that kind of fantasy that you want to play. And I think the idea of just getting your hands into like the future, things that shouldn't be known but you have access to, that's just a very fun concept to play. Now, I do tend to think that those divination style spells can be a little DM dependent as to how they want to, handle things like that. So I would encourage anybody that's watching this video and wants to play a Fate Domain Cleric to just have that conversation with your DM ahead of time, just so you understand a little bit how some of these mechanics might work. But I think it's a very fun fantasy to play. So let's take a look at the domain spells here for the Fate Domain Cleric. Overall, nothing seems game-breaking to me, and I think that for the most part they fit that divination concept of fate. I think it fits the theme pretty well, with the exception of maybe Dissonant Whispers. It's one of my favorite spells for sure. I'm not sure how that fits in with the theme, but it's incredibly powerful, and some of the features later on is going to make that succeed more often than not. And strategically speaking, if you cast that against a creature that's, say, being flanked by your paladin and your rogue, now all of a sudden the paladin can get another smite in, and the rogue can actually deal sneak attack damage for a second time in a round, because yes, that actually is how sneak attack works. The Omens and Portents feature does not overwhelm me as far as mechanics or power. However, I think the way it's described here is just beautiful, and I love the augury spell. Again, it's very DM dependent, but there's just something about it that's really fun. So you can perceive signs of the future in everyday objects and events such as flights of birds or ripples made in water by a thrown stone. You can cast the augury spell without expending a spell slot, and when you cast the spell in this way, the spell has no verbal, somatic, or material components. Once you cast the spell in this way, you cannot do so again until you finish a long rest. In addition, until you finish a long rest, when you cast a divination spell that includes a chance the DM gives you no answer or a random reading such as augury, commune, or divination, reduce that chance by 25%. So this is kind of straightforward. You're just better at doing that whole fortune-telling, future-knowing thing, and I like that. I love the flavor, the idea of someone just throws a stone and all of a sudden when it hits, there's just like this and like there's just something special about that moment for you where you just get insight. Very flavorful, very cool, and I like that the chance of failure for you is reduced for other divination spells in the future. See what I did there? And now we come to the ties that bind. Again, not a feature that overwhelms me, but I think it would be very good on the party's scout. Let's take a look. You can temporarily tie your fate to others. As an action, you can touch one object or creature and magically tie a strand of fate from yourself to it for 1 hour or until you use this feature again. An unwilling creature must succeed on a wisdom saving throw against your spell save DC to resist this effect. While the target is bound to you and on the same plane of existence as you, you can sense the direction to the target's location and you know the direction of its movement if it is in motion. In addition, once per turn, when you cast a spell using a spell slot to deal damage or restore hit points to the target, roll a d6, and the target receives extra damage or healing respectively equal to the number rolled. You can use this feature's action a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. So yeah, this fits the fantasy very well. It's something that even if you're not using it all that much as far as combat or whatever is concerned, even if you just plan on healing someone, it's kind of life domain adjacent in how you can give them a little extra. That's kind of nice. Nothing overwhelming here, but absolutely fits the fantasy. So I like that. And here we come to the Channel Divinity Strands of Fate, which is really strong, actually, like really strong. Let's take a look at what that does. You can use your Channel Divinity to see and manipulate the strands of fate that weave around other individuals. As a bonus action, you can enter this state for up to 1 minute or until you lose your concentration as if you were concentrating on a spell. For the duration, whenever another creature you can see makes an attack roll or an ability check, you can use a reaction to give the roll advantage or disadvantage, which is your choice. Hi, rogue who's trying to go rogue and wants to be by themselves while they fight someone. You now have advantage and can deal sneak attack all by yourself. That's kind of cool. This is also really good if you can protect some of your squishier allies with imposing disadvantage on an attack roll. You see your fighter that's got their great weapon master going and you want to make sure they have advantage. This is really strong, really strong. And it's very situational in which you can control which party member gets the bonuses or who gets the protection. This is a really nice Channel Divinity. And now we come to the level 6 feature, Insightful Striking, and this is one of the abilities I was referencing earlier about Dissonant Whispers. Let's take a quick look and see how that goes. As a bonus action, you can choose one creature you can see within 30 feet of yourself. Your magic grants you a brief vision of the target's defenses. Until the end of your next turn, you gain one of the following effects of your choice. The next time you make an attack roll against the target, roll a d6 and add the number rolled to the total. The next time the target must make a saving throw against the spell you cast, the target must roll a d6 and subtract the number rolled from the saving throw. You can use this bonus action a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. This pairs so well with Dissonant Whispers. It's just so good. I mean, how many save or suck spells are out there where it's like that all or nothing, save or suck? And it's so great when it works, but it's so disappointing when it doesn't. And this is really going to make it a lot more reliable for those really clutch moments that you need it. And don't discount using a level 1 spell like Dissonant Whispers in this way to really ramp up that damage, particularly if you have paladins and rogues, and just like the situation I mentioned before, it's like giving both of them an extra round of action. It's like giving them action surge. And you did that. Really strong. And so here on the level 8 potent spellcasting feature, you're going to be able to add your wisdom modifier to the damage rolls of your cantrips, which that's pretty standard. At level 8, subclasses in the cleric class either get damage bonuses to their weapon attacks or their cantrips, depending on whether they're kind of more of like that warrior or a spellcaster. And I think this fits perfectly. And now for the pinnacle feature, the level 17 Visions of the Future. Let's take a look. Your knowledge of the future allows you to guide an individual to achieve their greatest possible success. You can cast the Foresight spell once without expending a spell slot. When you cast the spell in this way, the spell's duration is 1 minute for that casting. Once you cast the spell in this way, you can't do so again until you finish a long rest. Oh, right off the bat, level 9 spell for free. Yes, please. That's really nice and strong. It does only last a minute as opposed to 8 hours, so that is obviously a very different situation. I do think that marrying that it lasts a minute and it takes a minute still to cast feels... I don't really know exactly how you're going to do that. It almost kind of only works if you're planning an ambush and you have the time to sit around for a minute and cast the spell. So that's a little clunky. I actually think if it's only going to last for a minute and it only lasts once for a long rest, why not just let it be an action for that particular use of the spell? But still, that's an extra level 9 spell slot, really. And how many combats last an entire minute? This is really strong. Overall, I really like the theme here. I think this subclass offers a lot of mechanics that can really fit the fantasy and just kind of get those creative juices flowing as far as playing that like prophet style cleric that I think a lot of people would enjoy. And I think this might get some tweaks. Like I said, Visions of the Future that seem just a little clunky in practice. Obviously, I've never played one before, so I'd love to know what you think about that. And if you're interested in watching some more reviews from this particular Wonders of the Multiverse Unearthed Arcana, check some of the videos that's on screen now, and also subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button. We've got tons of great stuff for you. All right? Take care, everybody.